Our next discussion would be around managing the change, management of change. Why it has become necessary, how good companies are handling this change, handling this challenge, I would say. And then employee involvement we will discuss. We will discuss employee empowerment, training, development, the various initiatives relating to the employee after the change management we will be discussing. Let's first understand this. Why has this change management come into focus? As in the previous module we discussed, market is changing, customers' expectations are changing, the competition is changing, and those who have remained in the past will remain in the past. If you don't change, the world will grow around you and you will be relegated to nothing. There are many things we have heard, change is the only constant, only certain thing to happen. But we should understand it is in new light as to what is this cultural change that has been required in the type of people and employees that we have within the company. Professor Bob Quinn of University of Michigan, he came out with a nice example of the frog and the water example. He suggested that carry out an experiment. Take a bowl of water, put a frog in it, start heating the bowl, the water will start getting heated, the frog will rotate, and after some time when the water gets very hot, the frog will start rotating faster, and when the water starts boiling, the frog will get boiled and die. Take another example. Take a bowl of water, don't put the frog in it, it starts boiling the water. When the water starts boiling, put the frog in it. The frog will jump out. Why? If you think about it, you will conclude that slow change is death. You are getting accustomed to what is happening outside and trying to adjust yourself, unmindful of the radical change, the deep change that is required within you to handle the future. And then when the water becomes very hot, since you have got adjusted to that situation, you don't move out and you die. On the contrary, the other second experimentation, the smarter frog, he jumped out because he saw the deep change, requirement of a deep change. Are we ensuring the organizational change to handle the very radical changes? Radical changes. How do you manage this change? You see, technological changes, process changes, design changes, they are easier to handle. If it relates to the work culture of your people, it becomes a different challenge altogether. And the TK focused companies suggest certain practices successfully adopted by some successful companies towards the new situation that demands, the new culture that demands total organizational change. And the type of changes that are expected are either developmental or transitional or transformational changes, developmental, transitional, or transformational. And the prime success comes through creating a dissatisfaction with the status quo. A dissatisfaction with the status quo. The present situation, are we all accustomed to it and living very happily? Or is there a discomfort in your people and your team to go to a certain height that appears to be far but has to demand a breakthrough change? Unless we have that kind of a desire and restless people, how do we compete in the future? Some competition from outside will come and will throw us out. We'll be crushed. Are your people, is the team ready to assume that challenge and change itself to meet that future challenge? Now, the dissatisfaction with the new situation for your employees comes in the form of cross-functional attention, live to change the customer and market expectations, and quality, cost, productivity, and customer delivery focus. If these three focus areas are created in the mind of all employees, they start looking for the new situation, success in the new situation. What model have some of the successful companies used for this change to make that transition? And for that, the certain steps they have recommended. We'll see the suggested model, the new model for managing the change. First and foremost, the vision communication. Communicate the vision. Now, here is the big challenge. Is it considered a management vision? Or is that employee considers that it is my vision? Is it a shared vision or not? Is it a bottoms-up process, or is it a top-down process, or is it a shared vision? Some successful companies have ensured that even though the vision was a top-down, they ensured that the total alignment is created in a manner that all employees feel that it is my vision, a shared vision. And then you can imagine the chances of your reaching that ultimate become so very high, because every individual is restless to reach there. He feels it is my vision. You will do well to read the Spartacus story. Spartacus was a gladiator, fought the lion, killed the lion, was freed, and he became a mercenary. He became independent and had villages under him, and he started creating trouble for the Romans. The Roman general with the army surrounded all the villages after some years, and they captured a group of young warriors. They knew that it is Spartacus who is creating the problem, but the general did not know who Spartacus is. He threw a bait. He said, "Hand me over a Spartacus and I will free the rest." Spartacus thought that why for me all my friends would get killed unnecessarily. So he stood up and said, "I am a Spartacus, take me and free all my friends." And then you know what happened? Another guy stood up. He said, "I am a Spartacus, take me and free the rest." Then another guy, and then another guy, and then another guy, and then slowly all of them stood up and said, "I am a Spartacus, take me and free the rest. All of them. A shared vision of freedom, liberty, equally ready to face the consequences and responsibility that management philosophers have given an example as a shared vision, where even the person was so well diffused into the community that he was not recognizable. Diffused leadership. Shared vision and diffused leadership as a great example. We can have large number of examples even in today's organizations. We'll do well to study those, but there are certain learnings which have stood the test of time. Spartacus is one such story. The vision communication, when you communicate the vision across the lines, across the people, across the ranks and the files, it should be clear, concise, easily understandable and memorable. Do you remember your vision statement? Well, this exercise has been done by a large number of organizations. Whether all the employees in the organization remember by heart their vision statement. Is it understandable? Is it concise? It is memorable? And is it very clear? Clear communication. Does it excite and inspire me? Is it challenging? Does it challenge me to rise to greater heights and perform? Is it excellence centered? Excellence, going beyond the present day norms, leading you to greater heights, heights unknown so far. Stable and yet flexible. Stable and yet flexible. You can take great examples, many examples where you have stable and stability and flexibility both going together. And it should be implementable and tangible. It should be implementable and tangible. And it should specify the key success factors. Key success factors it should specify so that all individuals, all teams, all functions understand their success factors and start striving to deliver on those and come out with their implementation plan. And with this, we can come to certain commandments of change management. I would say 10 commandments of change management. What are the 10 commandments that must be kept in our mind while managing the change? First and foremost, analyze the need for change. You should analyze the organization and the need for change. How does it fall deficient tomorrow? What are the drawbacks? What are the core strengths? What are the deficiencies? Where are we likely to have the biggest gaps? Are through our vision or mission addressing those gaps? You must analyze those. Create a shared vision and common direction. Vision sharing is a must, and the direction must be unidirectional, common direction. People moving in diverse directions, different directions, do not do any good for your organization. Can we ensure that all are moving in the same direction? We took this example also during Hoshin Kanri, the Japanese system of work deployment, so that all the deployed work ultimately combines into the common goal and the vision of the organization. It should be distinctly separate from the past. If you keep doing what you have been doing, chances of your success becomes remote. Is it distinctly different from past? Create a sense of urgency. If you don't do it in urgently, it doesn't get done. This we can see in our lives. If you are expected to do something urgently, you do it. If you are not expected to do it very urgently, you will yourself delay it. Unless done with a sense of urgency, the work does not get done. Change management is something, if it has to be done with a sense of urgency. Support a strong leader's role, either at the corporate level, or at the functional level, or at the operational level. The leadership opportunities at all levels, and good organizations support that leadership role to ensure proper alignment and unidirectional growth and movement. You must also line up sponsorships, political alignment, you can say, loosely understood, political alignment. If you want to do something in the organization, all the teams, all the members, all those key stakeholders must be in alignment. They must support it, for which you need to also at times work at the back end, behind the screen, to ensure alignment. That is what the philosopher means by telling political alignment. Work out a very clearly defined implementation plan. Develop enabling structures. You develop a plan, fine, you have great plans, but then unless the structure is, if there are enabling structures available, chances of implementation becoming successful is remote. Communicate, involve people, and be honest. Well, we have heard many times from great philosophers that ultimately it is human goodness that prevails in this world. Ultimately, you shouldn't support anything and everything that comes out of human evil. And all that is good must come out of human goodness. Here is a great example of what the philosopher says: communicate, involve people, and be honest. If at one stage, at any stage, the leaders are found to be not telling the truth, the entire structure of confidence collapses. And lastly, institutionalize the change. Institutionalize a proper documenting, reinforcing, and institutionalizing the change. Institutionalize. It should become the regular process. Change management should become a regular process in the organization. Now we'll shift our focus to employee involvement. How the TQ-driven companies have started paying a significant attention to the employee involvement, and how large number of companies have benefited. What is it? What is employee involvement? Any activity by which employees participate in work-related decisions and improvement activities with the objective of tapping the creative energies of all employees and improving their motivation, should be termed as employee involvement. It can range from simple sharing of information or providing input on work-related issues and making suggestions to self-directed responsibilities such as setting goals, making business decisions, and solving problems. Often in cross-functional teams, this is seen. What are the advantages of employees' involvement? It replaces adversarial mentality with trust and cooperation. Adversarial mentality is replaced by trust and cooperation. Develop skills and leadership abilities. Increase morale and commitment. Fosters creativity and innovation among employees and teams. Helps people understand quality principles and instilling them into the organization's culture. Allows employees to solve problems at the source and improves quality and productivity. We'll now discuss empowerment. And what is it? Giving people authority to make decisions based on what they feel is right, to have control over their work, to take risks and learn from mistakes, and to promote change. It demands a sincere belief and trust in your people. A sincere belief and trust in your people is what is demanded to be able to ensure proper empowerment of the employees. What are some success factors? Successful empowerments are in the form of providing education, resource and encouragement, remove restrictive policies, procedures, foster an atmosphere of trust, share information freely, make work valuable, train managers in hands-off leadership. Hands-off leadership. Train employees in allowed attitude. Train employees in allowed attitude. Having a look at training and education, how the NTQ focused companies are handling it differently. The training and education, highest priority is given to quality awareness, leadership, project management, communications, teamwork, problem solving, interpreting and data analysis, meeting customers' requirements, process analysis, process simplification, waste reduction, cycle time reduction, and error proofing. Now, these are the trainings and education subjects and topics which are being picked up by a very large number of organizations.